This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
That same weekend, of course, it's March 7th. We're going to hear from Ole, but this time it's going to be on Worldwide. So we heard what Arn had to say. Let's hear from Ole now on Worldwide on March 7th, 1987.
We've been looking to talk to Ole Anderson, finally get a chance to talk to him. Ole, why don't you just come in here and tell us your side of the story?
Well, as you say, a lot of people have been asking me what's happening with the Four Horsemen. I'll tell you this, as far as Flair is concerned, I really don't know because I haven't talked to him. Arn, I've only heard some things about him, and I'd say the kid's a little bit confused, and maybe he's just letting his brain race a little bit further than it should right now. Lex Luger, I tell you right now, you might be making a big mistake. You're a big kid, good-looking, got a lot of future. But I don't think you're going to have a future with a guy like James J. Dillon. I don't think you're going to have a future with a guy like Tully Blanchard, the man that's the outsider. And I'll tell you why. Because anytime a person puts their business, whatever it might be, whether it's making cars or down here at the factory someplace, putting up tomatoes, or it's a farmer out here growing corn, if you put that ahead of your family, then you're making a big mistake. And I'll tell you what, in the years I've been on Earth, I finally maybe learned myself that there is something that's very important, that is family. And anytime I got to listen to a guy like Tully Blanchard or James J. Dillon calling my people no good and making some comment about my son. Now you take a look and you ask yourself, you're sitting at home, you're right here in this building. What's more important to you if it isn't your family? What do we got Christmas for? What do we got birthdays? What do we got all these things for if it's not family? Well, I'll tell you, it's real important to me. Family is real important. And nobody makes a comment about my boy. I understand Dillon, he's even got this big Bubba. Well, I tell you what, Bubba, if you think it's easy, ask some of these people here, ask them all around the country what it was like when the Andersons were riding high. I might be an old horse, but as far as I'm concerned, there's still one ride left. Bubba, Tully, JJ, anybody else that wants a piece of Anderson, it's going to be real easy. I know, Arn, you talked about the fire. You looked in my eyes and you said maybe the fire was going. Well, you look in my eyes again. You know what they say? The flame burns brightest just before it goes out. Well, maybe I'm on my way out, but it's burning bright right now. And I got one reason above all, that I'm going to make sure I knock some heads and I break some arms. And I'll tell you what that reason is. It's that son of mine. It's that snot nose. And everywhere I go, I'll be looking at you, Tully. I'll be looking at you, JJ. And I'll be looking for you, Big Bubba. And I'll be looking at you, and I'm going to be calling you a snot nose. Look out, because Anderson's coming.
Is that a,
Damn.
That's real.
That's a babyface interview that is to the point. 100% believable, credible, unbelievable.
I mean, between those two promos, I'm ready to watch y'all wrestle right now. We're not there yet, but I'd buy a ticket for that. I'm in.
I think I might choose sides again. From the heel side of the ball or the babyface side of the ball, say what you want to about Ole. When he speaks, you believe it.
Yes.
Period. And that kind of credibility, that kind of believability is what sells tickets over a long term. And when you get over with that being your mantra, you stay over.
Yeah. I feel strongly that saving money is important. You know, if it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit, with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at SaveWithConrad.com. Well, you're going to stay over that weekend. You're going to go over Mike Anderson in a squash match. I don't really want to listen to the squash actually, but there's a Horseman promo right after that we don't want to miss. This is from World Championship Wrestling on March 7th, 1987. Let's take a listen. This is the show, by the way, with the debut of the new theme song and entrance video for those of you who are now JCP nerds, which is kind of fun. Let's take a listen here to March 7th, the Horseman promo.
Spinebuster see why. Driving hard.
That is actually Mike Jackson.
Action Jackson, Alabama's own.
Back here with James J. Dillon, Lex Luger, and the world TV champion, Tully Blanchard.
You know, Tony Schiavone, the big controversy, what's going to happen with the Horsemen? The Horsemen are the Horsemen, just like we always have been. But you know, what happened last week has weighed heavily on our minds. But you know, you think about it, and you think back about all the times when Ole Anderson was not there. You know, this is a business. We do this to make money, to buy homes, cars, and provide the lifestyle that we all like. Am I right, James J? The revenues that come back on our business. Ole Anderson, you were part of an elite group that was a money-making unit. A lot of money. And Ole Anderson, you weren't there many times in the corner when we needed. You weren't here on television when we needed. You weren't there when we needed you for a long time. And even when you did come, Ole, you were falling behind and not getting the job done in the 8-mans. You weren't keeping up. You weren't going to the gym when you needed to be. You were out doing something else. Well, Ole Anderson, if that snotty-nosed kid of yours, and I say it again, and where are you today to cheap shot me out here with my clothes on? Ole Anderson, you want to cheap shot somebody, you do it in the ring just like we've always done it. That's what the Horsemen live by 24 hours a day. Is that the way you want to come out here? James J. Dillon isn't a wrestler. He's a mental giant. He's a financial wizard. That's what he does. That's what we pay him for. Not to come out here and get beat up and slapped by you because you're running having a damn tantrum. Ole Anderson, you think about all those things when you're sitting there at breakfast and you can't afford to feed that snotty-nosed kid of yours because you're not a horseman. You think about it.
Fans, we'll be back with our World Junior Heavyweight title match right after this.
How about that, man? The storyline continues here about all things Horsemen. What's your takeaway?
Well, the one thing that kind of jumped off the page was Tully stepped up, carried that promo. There was no spot for Luger in that promo. And it feels a little bit funky that he didn't say anything, but there was really nothing to say because he wasn't involved yet as deeply as Tully was. So I think that was a good call, and it was a good, solid promo by Tully.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.